says that your wards have been involved in some or practice, and that they have to go through a certain process to allow them, before the results are released to them. What really is a concern of parents?
Yes, thank you, and good evening to your listeners. Yeah, the parents, or we the parents, our concern is the shared invitation to all parents to come to WAEC to meet a committee. When we got to WAEC, they separated the parents from the students. So we asked why they invited us. Then they said due to the malpractice that went on during the exams. But they are still investigation. So we are just still investigating the issue. As we said, you are not done with the investigation. Why invite us and the students? That yes, it's part of their investigation. What they wanted to do was they wanted to show the questions to the students. Then if they identify, they really answer the question, then they give them the same question to answer or to work on. Then we said no. Mathematics is not just an easy subject. The students have been at home for almost 5 months without studies. And when we're coming, they never told us the students will be examined. So the students are not prepared. So it was back and forth until we succeeded. Then they put the exams aside. Then they said the students were going to write a report. Then the parents again demanded that if they are to write a report, their case, then the parents should be with them. Because a child cannot write a report. The child will need the guidance of the parent. There again, they refused. So finally, we moved ourselves to the secondary school, Tia Amas, to find out what is really happening or what the school authority was doing. So we got there and they said the headmaster was not there. We were there and we had information that some parents have already allowed their children to write the report. But our concern is, it's been 5 months. We were expecting, when we were coming, we were expecting that the moment we come, we have finalized the investigation. This is it. But they are now telling us they are still in the investigation. That's what we didn't understand. Students have gone to the university. Our wards are still at home. They can't go just because of the mathematics paper that has been withheld. So we find it very difficult because we believe that WAEC really doesn't have evidence. They are now fishing for evidence. That is because if they had evidence, they should have taken 5 months is enough for them to have finished with the investigation they are doing.
So,
5 months down the line, you are now inviting students to come and write a report.
So is it a case that once they write a report, the particular student's result will be released to them? Or they write a report and go home and still wait for investigations to conclude?
They told us that they will write the report and that will be a determiner to whether the child indeed involved him or herself in exam malpractice or not. And there, the decision will be made as to whether the child's results will be cancelled or will be released.
But what will be the content of this report? Were they given guidelines as to how to write a report, or what generally was the report about?
There wasn't any content. The paper was brought, the student's name, and then the student index number. Then the student was supposed to write what he or she witnessed during the exams.
Oh, I see. And so the parents didn't want the students to write that?
Initially, we didn't want, but when others shortchanged us, we decided, well, since some have written, then we should allow our wards to write. But we were thinking, the reason why we didn't say the students shouldn't write the report. Our demand was the parents should be with the students, so that the student will write and the parent will be in the know, because we have the right. We felt that we have the right to be with the student and know what our wards are writing. That was our demand. And they say they wouldn't accept that. That was the bone of contention regarding the writing of the report.
Maybe they felt that if the parents were with the students or the candidates, you were going to influence what they would ordinarily have written.
Well, we have been speaking with our wards. We have been with our wards. So whatever the child will be writing, it would have been proud discussed with the parent. So I really didn't see nothing wrong with a parent be with a student, because when they came, I personally interrogated my daughter, asked her whether indeed she received external influence or not, or did she observe such a situation. So definitely, whatever my daughter will be writing, I will be in the know, because we've already discussed it. Because when the results was withheld, we were asking questions. And definitely you have to go back to your ward and interrogate the ward and know where the truth of the matter is. Because they were there, we were not there.
I see. So what's the next line of action? So in your case, eventually you got your ward to write a report, right?
Yes, and then we are not. We had a lawyer, and in fact we penned down our names and then contact numbers, and the lawyer is reviewing it. Fortunately, the lawyer also had his word amongst us. So the lawyer says he's going to review the situation, then advise us within the next day or two.
I see. So now what's the way forward for your children? I mean, without the maths, they can't make progress.
Without the maths, no, none of them. So currently, as we speak, no Form 3 student of Tia Amas Kumasi is going to any tertiary due to
so in the case of Tia Amas, the whole school got affected?
Yes, the whole school's resources withheld.
Wow.
Yes.
I see. So even if the results is released today, I mean, the schools have...
None of them can go to school. If the result is released today, none of them, because tertiary institutions have reported.
But
they're finished with the admission processes.
I see. Given that it's a school-wide matter and your daughter was in that school, what do you know happened, given what your daughter has told you?
Well, according to them, and I've spoken with some of the teachers, they said WAEC actually saw a student with a foreign material. So looking at the whole situation, it should have been only that particular class where they saw that foreign material. That's why when we observe what WAEC told us, that's where I told a colleague that no, these people don't have evidence. They are now fishing for evidence. Because if they had evidence, 5 months is enough for them to have drawn their conclusion. But you are now calling students to come and interrogate them, to write a report, and you do well with the report.
But
so it's not like something, they confirmed to me, indeed, a particular student was found with foreign material. But why not? At least the punishment should have been within only that class, or maybe that particular student.
Or maybe they shared the material with the whole school, and so everybody, would have been affected.
Well, we are all speculating, but the information I had was that there was a student indeed who was caught. So if they were to punish, it should have been within either that student or even within that class. So they'll do thorough investigation. And
yes.
To me, as a layman, I really find it disturbing, because students are at home, their colleagues are in the tertiary, and 5 months.
Yeah, so that leads me to my next question about the mental health of the children. What are you? How are you dealing with that? Your child, for example, is home. Their colleagues in other schools have gone to school.
They are highly disturbed, because the moment you come, oh, daddy, my colleague is now in the University of Ghana. This one is at KUST. When am I going to school? When are they releasing the results? Every day, that is what you have to handle.
Very well. Thanks so much, Mohammed Nuruddin Abubakar, for speaking to us.
He's a concerned parent.
He's a concerned parent whose case from your end, your child's results have been withheld. Which subject?
Please, it's English.
So what is the situation now? The WAEC has also asked your children to write reports. Is that correct?
Yes, please. The situation is after the results came, all the students at some presec, their English has been withheld. So we had a message on the 28th of this month that we should report to WAEC Koforidua, where the parents and their wards. And yesterday we had another message that we should come to their school, Presbyterian school. So we came today early morning, like 10 o'clock. So the meeting started there. WAEC officials were there. And what they told us was, and they are coming to
They're coming to write a report.
They are coming to write a report towards what went on that day that they were starting the English paper, and they will do the comparisons of their answer sheet. So we the parents we saw something fishy about it, because you have to pinpoint what they did, but they couldn't give us any answer to that.
I see. So did they write a report or they didn't?
Yeah, we tried to stop him. We went to the headmaster to plead with him that he should tell this is not legal, because you have to, if there is any examination malpractices, you have to pinpoint where the malpractice came, but to no avail. So he went ahead to let these children write a report. So that's what happened, and that was where they were comparing their answer sheets.
I see. Thanks so much for speaking to us. We will be following up on this. If there is new information, let us know. Indeed, we wanted to speak to WAEC. We had spoken to WAEC ahead of time. They agreed to speak to us, but when the time was due, it did appear that the connection on the lines were not friendly. So as and when we get to WAEC, or we get through to WAEC, we will bring their side of the matter to you. This is how we conclude.